So I know that there's a ton of these videos out here, but I just wanted to put my personal touch on this of the 15 things that I think are really great to either take with you or know about when you're traveling. That can be car travel or air travel, or really, bus, train, wherever way you want to go. But I just wanted to give you a few tips and tricks that I have discovered that were helpful to me. So let's see. Number one is phone chargers. Make sure you take your own phone chargers with you. And a lot of times, like this one plugs into the wall, you're really going to want that if you get somewhere and somebody needs a spare. Sometimes you have several things you're trying to charge. Or definitely bring one that goes in the car, because if you fly and you're getting a rental car, you're going to want one of these to charge your phone or to run it for maps and things. So you definitely want to bring that. Number two is some sort of cord bag, or your gimbal or your tripod. You're going to want this stuff with you, and I'm just using like a little makeup bag, but it has my phone chargers, my microphone, it has my extra lights, things like that you just aren't going to think about when you're traveling, and they're not going to be around the corner that you can go buy one. Then let's see, number three is I always try and bring a notebook and a pen and some paper or little post-it notes or something to keep receipts in, to keep copies of paperwork that I've printed out, or things that people give you if you're going to a conference or something. Sometimes it's nice to have something that's kind of waterproof to put your paperwork in that keeps it safe and handy. All right. Number four is Kleenex, Lysol wipes, and wet wipes. And of course, this dates my video a little bit because of COVID, but it's been really nice to have like some Lysol wipes, Kleenex, the little portable wipes with me. And I mean, that really kind of stands the test of time, that you want to be somewhere where you can kind of clean and freshen up wherever you are before you use the facilities, or in hotel rooms or places like that. All right, let's see. Number five, again, sort of dates my video for COVID, but having different kinds of face masks. We discovered when we flew for the first time in many, many years that you really needed to have a different kind of face mask. The ones that we use all the time have vents in them, and you can't fly with those. You have to have special masks to fly with. So if you bring different kinds, then you can decide, okay, these are really uncomfortable and I only want to wear them, absolutely have to, on the plane, but I'll wear what's a little bit more comfortable somewhere else. So just bring some different varieties so that you can choose from some different things. A shoe bag. All right, so now this is just a cute little zippered cloth bag. They make them of all different materials and fabrics and everything. I got this one just as a cute little zippered bag. But these work great to put your shoes in. If you like to travel with more than one pair of shoes, like most of us do, when you put your shoes in your suitcase, you're putting the bottom of those shoes against the nice clean dress that you need to wear at the next, event. So what's nice is you put your shoes in a nice bag, and that way everything stays neat and tidy. Also, you can double these as a laundry bag. So if you have anything, especially the ones that are plastic, you can put like a wet swimsuit in or something like that until you can get to perhaps your next destination to get it dry. But these work out really great. All right, then number 7 is Bandaids and moleskin. I cannot tell you how much this has really saved me. I know a lot of people bring big giant first aid kits when they go anywhere, but when you're flying, that's not always the easiest way to do. But if you've got some moleskin to put on a blister or a spot that's trying to be a blister, or just some simple little Band-Aids for something that you got a little cut and you don't have time to stop by Walgreens or CVS to get a whole box of Band-Aids. So that's number 7. Number 8 is something that a flight attendant video I watched taught me. There are so many times when you're traveling that the hotel refrigerators don't have freezers. So all those great little gel coolie packs that you usually use, you can't freeze them. So they're only good for the first night. And you certainly can't take those on the plane. So what I discovered was she used ice packs, like what you would use for an injury or something. They come in different sizes, and basically anywhere you go is usually going to have an ice machine. Most hotels have ice machines. So this is something that you can fill up each night. It doesn't matter if there's a freezer or not, but you can go to the ice machine and fill that up. So that works really great. And again, that's great air travel or car travel, because again, you never know what hotel you have, if they're going to have a freezer in it or not. And then one of the things that we learned very quickly, my husband likes to have drinks with him all the time. And when we flew, we knew we weren't going to have his drinks with us, and we were going to have to stop by a store and get some stuff. And what was really nice is I had a collapsible cooler. I mean, this is just one of those regular little cloth coolers. And I had a nice collapsible cooler that I slid down in one of our suitcases. And it was great so that as soon as we got off the plane, went and got the drinks, we were able to use the cooler, fill up the ice pack with ice, and we were ready to go. So that's number 8. Then number 9 is, I think, what everybody should do. Everybody should have a backpack to carry with them. This is universally for any kind of travel. If you have any kind of things that you want to try and keep with you, having something that you can strap onto your back and keep up with it. I mean, I know a lot of ladies like their really pretty handbags. And what I ended up doing was, when we flew recently, I really wanted to have my purse because I didn't want to lug like a big giant backpack around everywhere we went once we got to our destinations. But it was great for in the airport because it had my laptop in it, it had all my paperwork in it, but it had a little handbag that I could use once we got to our destination in it. And I definitely recommend trying to get a backpack that has a special laptop insert. It's just a little padded insert that comes in there, unless you have like a neoprene case or something that goes around your laptop. It just gives it a little bit of extra protection as you're moving around through the airport, or when you're perhaps on a bus or you're traveling by train. You don't want it to be banged around too much. So I think this is one of the most important things to take when you travel. All right, then number 10 is going to seem really silly. It's a nightlight. Okay, so a lot of us are like, well, I'm not afraid of the dark. Okay, that's fine. But when you're in some of these hotels, they're really dark and you're not familiar with the floor plan. So, I mean, yes, granted, the worst case scenario would probably be you'd stub your toe. But I like to have a nightlight because the only other alternative is to turn the really bright bathroom light on and close the door where it's cracked just a little bit. And that just basically, in some of these hotel rooms, floods the whole hotel room full of light, or it can be shining straight in somebody's eyes. So just a simple little $1 nightlight has worked so well. And that's another thing I would recommend. Don't buy a really expensive one, so that if you accidentally forget it in the hotel room, it's not going to be the end of the world. So don't buy an expensive one. But that's number 10. Number 11 is earplugs. Okay, so this one is kind of air travel and car travel. Obviously, the earplanes are great for air travel to help you if you have problems with your ears, if you have problems with vertigo, things like that. Those are really great. But earplugs, period, on a trip are just fantastic. I would recommend any kind, like regular earplugs. If you have somebody that's in your family that snores and you need earplugs to help you, get to sleep, or earbuds or any kind of headphones. When you fly, you need these to be able to like watch the movies or watch the news on the screens that they have in most of the airplanes now. Also, if you want to listen to music that calms you while you fly, these are wonderful because you can't just listen to music out loud. You're not going to be able to hear it on the plane anyway. So these are really nice. Plus, if you're traveling with other people in a car, not everybody's going to want to listen to the kind of music you listen to or the podcast that you want to listen to. So these are really nice to have with you. Now, number 12 is a little bit more geared towards air travel. This is the 311 bag. But basically what I'm trying to tell you with this one is have a liquids bag. Everybody has those nice necessary bags that have your shampoo and your conditioner and your brush and all your little things that you want to take with you. When you fly, you have to keep all your liquids in one bag, whether you have TSA pre-check or not. It's the 311. Everything has to fit in a quart bag and can be less than 3 ounces each. So it has to be able to fit in one of these bags. But I like to also recommend this because it's great to have all your liquids in a nice plastic case that zips. And worst case scenario, if anything spills, it's only going to spill in here. It's not going to spill all over your clothes and all over your nice shoes or anything like that. So it's all in one place. I think that is really, really great. All right, number 13 is a plastic pillowcase. Now that, like I said, might seem kind of silly, But a plastic pillowcase, this is one of those ones that you can get at the Family Dollar for like $3. And it's plastic, it's got a little zipper closure on it. What that does is, if you like to travel with your pillow, your favorite pillow that you can only get to sleep with, if you have your pillow, because those hotel pillows just make you crazy, this makes it nice, because if you're traveling with your pillow and your nice clean pillowcase and it's going out of the car or it's coming out of the bus, or you're getting into the hotel room and it's blowing rain, then your pillow, your nice pillow with the nice clean pillowcase, is now sopping wet, so you can't use it. But what makes it nice is, if you have one of these, just slide your whole pillow inside the pillowcase, zip it up, and this will help you get it into the hotel nice and clean and dry. And these are relatively reasonable. Like I said, I think I got this one as a 2-pack for like $3 at the Family Dollar. So it's not something that's going to be long term, but it really can save you on a night's sleep. All right, then number 14 is a Pillbox. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's just for old people to use pillboxes. No. If you have vitamins that you take or things that you have to take on a regular basis, I recommend bringing these. The great thing about these is you can bring what you need. As long as you know what your prescription is, you know exactly how much you're supposed to take, you can divide these up. The one I have here is AM, PM, so it's really, really helpful, but it's just a 7-day a week. I have it in a plastic bag because, again, I want to make sure that nothing leaks onto, if my bag gets soaking wet, I know my medication is still going to be okay. And this works out really well too, because on most airlines, I will say most airlines, you don't have to bring the original bottle anymore. You can bring exactly what you need. Now, the disclaimer to that is, check where your destination is. There are some places that if you're bringing a large quantity, say for instance you have pain medication or muscle relaxers, or something of that nature that you have a large quantity of that you need because you're staying for a long time, those you might want to still bring the bottle so that you can prove it is a prescription, because sometimes the TSA people really have to be careful what they're letting into whatever state or country that you're flying into. So definitely check the rules. But for the most part, most of the airports that you fly into will let you just bring what you need. You don't have to bring the original bottles anymore. All right. And then that brings me to just a few tips and tricks I wanted to tell you about. Most of these are kind of for air travel, but they were things that I found were invaluable. Make sure you leave room in your suitcase for purchases. Some of us think, okay, well, I've got to bring 15 shirts because I want to change out. Yeah, but you're not leaving any room in case you find something cute and wonderful at your destination that you want to bring back on the plane with you, or you want to bring back on the bus with you. Get the app of the airline that you're going to be flying. This was so wonderful. I put the app on my phone, and again, you can take them on and off. You can delete apps here and there. I was able to do a pre-board for the flight that we were flying on. I was able to check and make sure that the flight was still on time. And you can even have your boarding pass on there, but I will mention something more about that in just a minute. Have your ID and your boarding pass ready. Like, find a pocket, even if it's a pocket on your shirt or if it's a pocket on the outside of your backpack. You want it to be secure so that it doesn't accidentally fall out anywhere. But when you're going through this line and they're trying to get you through quickly and you want to get on your plane quickly, you want to have your ID and your boarding pass in your hand so that you can quickly hand it to the TSA agent and be on your way and be able to tuck it right back into the pocket securely. You do not want to be rifling through your wallet and rifling through your purse looking for these things. That being said, I still recommend printing out your boarding pass. I know that sounds old school, we're killing trees and all that, but I had an instance when there was somewhere where I wasn't able to print my boarding pass, and I was like, oh, no big deal, I'll just use the app for that. Well, for some reason, in the airport, I guess there was so many people that were accessing the app, I couldn't access my boarding pass. Well, luckily, when it was time for me to actually be on the plane and board, it had come through. But you can kind of have a harried few minutes there where that app does not load properly, or if you have a Wi-Fi connection problem or something. So I think it's still a good idea to print them out if you can. I mean, yes, you killed a tree, but use it as a memento or a souvenir or something like that. And then last but not least is if you have any kind of like Sky Miles or hotel reward points or any kind of discount cards or anything of where you're going, or that you may change your plans when you get there, or you get to the hotel and they don't remember that you're an Honors Reward member and you get a special parking space. Bring your numbers with you. That way you have them. I think most of these reward points places don't print up, actually you don't get a little plastic card anymore, you just get a number. But if you have it with you, you can be like, hey, no, I have my Honors Reward number right here, you know, I get the special parking space or something like that. So it's nice to have them with you. That way, say for instance you have to change your plans and you need to book a different hotel, well, you know you're going to get your points at this particular hotel as versus another one. So it's kind of helpful. I hope these little tips and tricks have been helpful to you. I know, like I said, there's a lot of videos out there with some great information, but these were little things that I found when I traveled that were really helpful, would have been even more helpful had I known prior. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I guess one of the biggest and most important tips about traveling is have fun. Don't let it stress you out too much. And I know sometimes that's so easy to say because I get stressed and nervous and want things to go perfectly when we travel, but just don't stress it too much.